Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture is titled Galle, Happy Face Crater on Mars. So, what do we see here? Well, here we see a crater named Galle, and it is sometimes known as the Happy Face crater. And if you take a look at it, you can kind of see why. We have essentially a face there. You've got a nice round crater outlining the face, some of the mountains inside shaping in terms of eyes, and then a mouth down below. So it looks like a smiley face there on Mars. Now, it's not a sign of any kind of civilization on Mars. In fact, we can say with complete confidence now that there has never been any kind of advanced civilization on Mars. We have studied Mars well enough that we would find remnants had there ever been any kind of complex civilization, or really even any complex life on Mars. However, that does not mean there is no life on Mars, and one of the things that the Curiosity and Perseverance rovers search for is signs of life. We do know that Mars had liquid water on it in the past, which we think of as very important for life, as a catalyst, a way for the chemical and biological reactions that form life and formed life here on Earth billions of years ago can be enhanced. So you put dry chemicals together, they don't do a whole lot. They tend to just sit there. Yes, there's some exceptions, but in general, if you just mix a couple of dry chemicals, not a lot happens. Whereas if you put the chemicals in water, they begin to react with the water helping along that process along. Now, here on Mars, as we see on every other solid surface in the solar system, except for one, has craters on it. Mars is kind of in the intermediate range in terms of the planets and the large moon. Mars has some heavily cratered regions, but it also has some regions that have very few craters. So in terms of cratering, in the major largest objects in the inner solar system, our Moon and Mercury have by far the greatest number of craters. Venus and Earth have by far the least number of craters. And Mars is kind of stuck in the middle there. Now, you might think Earth would have a lot of craters. It's a larger surface than our moon. You'd think that it would get hit more often. It does. Earth has been hit more times by meteors than our moon. However, Earth also has a lot of water on the surface. So if the meteor splashes into water, guess what? No crater. But it also has erosional processes. Now, those are not present on the moon, and they have not been present on Mars. They're much weaker on Mars than they are on Earth. We have things like wind and water that can wipe out craters in just a couple of million years. That sounds like a long time, but in reality, in terms of looking at billions of years worth of a planetary or lunar surface, that's very short. If we're only seeing the last few million years worth of craters on Earth, and we're seeing billions on the moon, billions of years worth on the moon, that's why the moon has so many more craters. And Mars, kind of in between those two, gives us an intermediate number, including the Happy Face crater we see today. So that was our picture of the day, titled Galle, Happy Face Crater on Mars. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture. So until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.